Welcome back, everyone. Last time, we explored the mysterious world of the Freemasons, their symbols, rituals, and influence on modern society. But today, we're diving even deeper. What's the real history behind this enigmatic organization? What controversies have surrounded them for centuries? And why do they continue to fascinate and sometimes frighten us? From their shadowy origins to their alleged involvement in world events, this is the untold story of the Freemasons. We'll explore their ties to the Knights Templar, their role in revolutions, the conspiracy theories that haunt them, and what they're up to today. By the end of this video, you'll have a much clearer picture of who the Freemasons really are, or at least as clear as it gets with a group this secretive. Let's get started. To understand the Freemasons, we must go back, way back. While the official founding of the Freemasons is often traced to 1717 with the establishment of the Grand Lodge of England, their roots are much older. Some historians believe the Freemasons evolved from medieval stonemason guilds, groups of skilled craftsmen who built Europe's cathedrals and castles. These guilds had secret handshakes, symbols, and rituals to protect their trade secrets. For example, the famous square and compasses symbol is thought to have originated from the tools of these stonemasons. But others argue that the Freemasons' origins are even more mysterious. One popular theory suggests connections to the Knights Templar, an ancient order of warrior monks disbanded in the 14th century. According to legend, some Templars survived and went underground, eventually resurfacing as the Freemasons. Could this be true? There's also the Egyptian connection theory, which claims the Freemasons' knowledge dates back to ancient Egypt, with their rituals and symbols inspired by the pyramids and hieroglyphs. While these theories are fascinating, historians often dismiss them as speculative. But one thing is clear: the Freemasons' early history is shrouded in mystery, and that's exactly what makes it so intriguing. Fast forward to the 18th century, and the Freemasons became a driving force during the Age of Enlightenment. This was a time when ideas about reason, science, and individual rights were transforming society. Many of the era's greatest thinkers, like Voltaire, Benjamin Franklin, and George Washington, were Freemasons. But why were so many influential people drawn to this organization? Some say it was because the Freemasons promoted ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity, values that would later inspire revolutions, including the American and French revolutions. Take George Washington, for example. He was not only the first president of the United States, but also a dedicated Freemason. Some historians argue that Masonic principles influenced the drafting of the U.S. Constitution. Similarly, in France, Freemasons were among the key figures pushing for democracy and challenging the monarchy. But this also led to controversy. Were the Freemasons secretly pulling the strings behind these world-changing events? Or were they simply a network of like-minded individuals striving for progress? Let's explore this further. Now, let's talk about the controversies. The Freemasons have long been the subject of conspiracy theories. Some claim they're a shadowy group controlling governments and economies. Others accuse them of practicing occult rituals or even worshiping dark forces. One of the most famous controversies involves the New World Order theory. Critics argue that the Freemasons are part of a global elite working to establish a one-world government. This theory gained traction in the 20th century, with some pointing to the Masonic symbols on the US dollar bill as proof. But is there any truth to these claims? Historians generally dismiss them as exaggerations, but the secrecy surrounding the Freemasons has fueled speculation for centuries. Another controversy is their exclusion of women for much of their history. While some Masonic lodges now admit women, this has been a point of criticism. And let's not forget the Catholic Church's condemnation of the Freemasons in the 18th century, accusing them of undermining religious authority. But perhaps the most explosive modern conspiracy theory involves the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963. For decades, theorists have claimed that the Freemasons played a role in his murder. Why? Let's break it down. First, some point to Lee Harvey Oswald, JFK's alleged assassin. While there's no concrete evidence Oswald was a Freemason, conspiracy theorists highlight that Jack Ruby, the man who killed Oswald, had ties to organized crime, which some claim overlapped with Masonic networks. Others go further, suggesting that JFK himself was a threat to Masonic interests. Then there's the infamous magic bullet theory. Critics argue that the trajectory of the bullet that killed Kennedy defies physics, implying a coordinated plot. Could Freemasons, with their alleged influence over governments and intelligence agencies, have orchestrated this? Even more chilling are claims about the Freemason symbolism. Some theorists note that Dealey Plaza, where JFK was shot, is filled with occult and Masonic imagery, including the Eye of Providence on nearby buildings. Is this a coincidence or a hidden message? Of course, mainstream historians and Masonic scholars dismiss these claims. They argue there's zero credible evidence linking the Freemasons to JFK's death, and that these theories thrive on cherry-picked details and paranoia. But the fact that this theory persists decades later shows how the Freemasons' secrecy continues to breed suspicion. But perhaps the most intriguing controversy is their alleged involvement in historical events. For example, some claim the Freemasons were behind the sinking of the Titanic. While these theories are largely debunked, they continue to capture the public's imagination. So, what's the real story? Are the Freemasons a force for good, or do they have a darker side? Today, the Freemasons are still active with millions of members worldwide. But their influence has waned compared to their heyday in the 18th and 19th centuries. Modern Freemasons often focus on charity work, community service, and personal development. For example, the Shriners, a branch of the Freemasons, are known for their hospitals that provide free medical care to children. Similarly, many Masonic lodges organize fundraisers and volunteer efforts in their communities. However, the secrecy surrounding their rituals and membership continues to spark curiosity. Why do they keep so much hidden? Is it to maintain tradition, or is there something more? And with the rise of the internet, old conspiracy theories have found new life, keeping the Freemasons in the public eye. Before we wrap up, let's address some common myths about the Freemasons. First, the idea that they're a monolithic organization with a single agenda is simply not true. Freemasonry is made up of independent lodges with varying practices and beliefs. Second, while they do have secret rituals, these are more about personal growth and moral lessons than anything sinister. And finally, the notion that they're a men's-only club is outdated. Many lodges now admit women and have co-ed branches. So, while the Freemasons are certainly mysterious, they're not the all-powerful shadowy cabal that some conspiracy theories make them out to be. So, what do we make of the Freemasons? Are they a benevolent society with a rich history, or a secretive organization with a hidden agenda? From medieval stonemasons to the JFK assassination theories, their story is a labyrinth of fact and fiction. If you're fascinated by these mysteries, smash that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Do you think the Freemasons were involved in JFK's assassination? Or is this just another wild conspiracy? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.